Baltimore. The streets of Baltimore were largely quiet overnight, with only scattered arrests reported during a curfew imposed after the latest wave of rioting fueled by anger against U.S. police killings of black men. Shortly after the curfew began late on Tuesday night, police in riot gear fired rubber bullets and lobbed gas canisters at a few hundred protesters who stood in front of a pharmacy that had been burned out. But Commissioner Anthony Batts told reporters around midnight only 10 people had been arrested, adding the curfew is in fact working. After the 7-hour curfew ended at 5 a.m. EDT, 0900 GMT, schools prepared to reopen after violence flared after the Monday funeral of an African-American man who died April 19 from a spinal injury suffered in police custody a week earlier. The death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray has renewed a national movement against police use of lethal force, which protesters say is disproportionately exercised against minorities, that flared after police killed unarmed black men last year in Ferguson, Missouri, New York City and elsewhere. Thousands of police and National Guard troops patrolled the streets of Baltimore overnight, and the curfew was scheduled to remain in place for 6 more nights. In a rare move, the Major League Baseball game between the Baltimore Orioles and Chicago White Sox will be played as scheduled Wednesday but closed to the public. Baltimore, just 40 miles, 64 kilometers, from the nation's capital in Washington, saw scenes of reconciliation, cleanup and even celebration, as well as continued protest on Tuesday. The day before, shops were looted, 19 buildings were set on fire, 20 officers were injured and police arrested more than 250 people.